So for this work today, we're going to be looking at the work of artist Mark Powell. Now, his work looks at a lot of different people, looks at birds, animals, and they are always drawn in sort of like biro or in pen. And this is always laid over some sort of like letters, or as you can see here for myself, I have put down some envelopes. Now, you can find any of these papers, you maybe keep some envelopes that you get in the post from your parents or whoever you live with, rip them up and you can stick them and collage them, and as I've done, I've added some actual letters as well. So you're going to first do that, collage all these papers together, and that's going to be your base that you're going to start drawing on. So you are going to be drawing a bird, so you can find an image of a bird, maybe one in flight, have a good look at Mark Powell's work as well, see how he puts the birds on his page, how does he set them out, are they flying, are they sat, so have a little look at all them different things. So what I started to do, I've glued down all my paper, I have got my bird picture in front of me, and I am now just starting to lightly sketch out elements of the bird. Okay, now don't worry if you do it slightly wrong, you will be going over this in biro, so you can then start adding all your details in with that afterwards. So I'm just going to do a small section of it so you can see exactly what type of marks I'm making, how I'm sketching this out. So I am doing it quite lightly just for now. Obviously these papers are different textures, so you're going to have to bear in mind how your biro and your pencil works on top of each texture. And that actually works really nice as well for when you come to do your biro work, because you can see all the different textures you're making with your mark making. So my bird at the minute, one wing actually comes up here and the other one's that way, so it's kind of like a side angle of my bird. So I'm just going to draw a little bit more. Okay, so for this all you need is just a standard biro pen, so I'm just going for this one here. Chose it in black, and I'm going to start adding all of my details. So I'm going to start with the head. Okay, now I'm going to look really closely at all of the different lines, at all the different ways the feathers form. It's really important that you look at the direction that everything actually forms on the animal, because that way you get your 3D elements. So his eyes are really black, so I am going to do some cross hatching just to get that really black. I'm going to leave a little sort of mark in the middle here, and that's just going to be the highlight on the bird's eye. So a bit of cross hatching work, going around in circular motions, really darkening that area. Okay, so the bird has a slightly lighter bit around its eye here, so I'm actually going to leave that area blank and start doing lots and lots of little lines. And as you can see, I'm going around my eye shape. Now the reason I'm doing that is because it actually builds in, as I said before, that 3D sort of look of my bird, and I can see where the dark areas are, so I'm going to put lots of lines closer together for those areas, separating my lines, and that gives me that sort of like lighter tone. Okay, so thinking about the textures, so I'm going to go into the beak as well. Now there's two sections to that, and I'm going to do a little bit of cross hatching towards the front, just because I don't want it to be fully black. I want to keep some of that detail of the lower and upper part of the beak. And again, always looking back and seeing what details are formed within it. So when you come onto your wings as well, so you need to look at the feather shape. So on some of my feathers, my bird here actually has that sort of, it's like the bone that kind of goes down the middle. It's not obviously a bone, but it's that sort of line that goes down the middle, and that forms all the little feathers coming off it. So then I need to make sure that I'm drawing my lines in the right direction so I can see the detail of each feather. So it's lots and lots of lines, lots of detail. You can do stippling dots as well. That adds a little bit of a different texture to there. Just if you've got any little tiny feathers around the eyes like mine has, a little bit of stippling dots will work really nice. As I said, cross hatching for any darker areas, but mainly with these sort of bird drawings, you're going to want to do lots and lots of little lines, because obviously the birds do have feathers on them. So just looking at how them feathers form. Okay, so you can see here now I've done my beak quite dark. I'm just going to bring that out a little bit more. Adding some little tiny feathers and details around it. Always looking at my picture as well. I want to see how the different like squiggly lines work brilliant, just to get that sort of texture, and layering them, having those different marks all around just give you that really nice sort of feather look. So you're going to want to build that on all the way down, really looking at the direction where everything goes. In your darker areas, cross-hatching will work really well. So on the breast of my bird here. And again, I've just noticed going from this brown paper to this whiter paper, my texture is completely different. So how you draw might change. How you do these sort of marks may change depending on the paper you're actually using. So I'm just going to add some longer lines in here. So it's all about experimenting, all about trying different techniques just to build as much texture and detail as possible. Okay, and you're going to continue that on the whole bird. It's very simple, very quick, but it gives you a really nice effective piece.